We're expanding our taste in what we watch. Top 10 ancient conspiracy theories. Watch Mojo. We ain't gonna be watching no funny stuff. We getting straight into the conspiracy theories. Why am I crying? What the fuck? Why am I crying? I just started crying for some reason. That was weird. I gotta keep it down. My dog, a puppy, sleeping right over there. Don't want to wake. Okay, what am I? Just react to the video.
Nero proudly boasts to his friends
Going
that
up.
at last he can live like a man.
We getting straight
Welcome
into
to
it.
Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ancient conspiracy theories.
He claims 180 similarities between Horus and Jesus Christ.
For this list, we're looking at the most fascinating
We gotta pay attention to every single detail. We can't get off track. We want to learn. We want to learn the conspiracy
and out there conspiracy theories about ancient events. What's the craziest conspiracy theory you've heard about the ancient world? Tell us in the comments. Number 10, Moses was Akhenaten. Moses is a biblical figure who was raised as part of an Egyptian royal family, yet became an important prophet for several monotheistic faiths.
Was that the Hitler
Akhenaten
thing?
was an Egyptian pharaoh in the 14th century BC, the husband of Nefertiti and the likely father of King Tut, who broke from traditional polytheism to elevate one god.
What the fuck is she saying? I don't know what the fuck she's saying, bro. How am I gonna...
above all others. Some scholars have suggested that Akhenaten may have been the historical basis for Moses, or at least the origin of monotheism in the region.
And if Moses existed at all, he was just one of Akhenaten's followers.
While Egypt's rejection of Atenism and the desecration of Akhenaten's works makes piecing the truth together difficult, this mysterious pharaoh's connections to Abrahamic religions has fascinated many, including figures like Sigmund Freud.
Could Sigmund Freud's audacious conclusion be true? That Akhenaten's biological brother was in fact the Hebrew leader, Moses.
Number 9. The pyramids were built by aliens. Speaking of ancient Egypt, arguably the most popular conspiracy about it is that the pyramids were constructed by or with the assistance of aliens. The idea is that the sophistication of these enormous constructions was too complex to create using the tools available at the time.
The Great Pyramid.
So you telling me people back then weren't giants? They weren't giants back then? They were just aliens? Or were the aliens giants? Or were the aliens using some type of little brain thing where they just built bricks and just stacked them on top of each other, making a pyramid? But why would they want to make a pyramid? Why were the pyramids created? I need to know.
Built the level of technological sophistication far in excess of anything that we have today.
While these theories have led to some cool movie and TV stories, they erect assumptions on gaps in our knowledge that are slowly being filled.
Might the Great Pyramid of Giza have been designed as part of an enormous network of ancient power plants?
We have quarries, tool marks, and the tombs of laborers as evidence that humans built the pyramids, using ramps and pulleys. These types of conspiracy theories have been called out as Eurocentric, for assuming that other ancient civilizations couldn't have been capable of architectural feats. Still, they persist.
The pyramid text described the ancient Egyptian gods as extraterrestrials coming and going from two places.
Number 8. Alexander
You didn't give me the answer.
Alexander the Great conquered much of Western Asia as well as Egypt. His
How
military
else would he
campaign
die?
extended into India. However,
Wait, how was-
while planning more
what-
conquests from Babylon,
what-
the leader of the newly formed Macedonian Empire
fuck am I
died
watching?
suddenly at the age of 32.
For centuries,
What's going on?
historians have debated the cause of Alexander's death. From alcoholism to poisoning to compulsive self-destruction.
While his exact cause of death is unknown, the prevailing theories are that it was the result of malaria or typhoid.
I feel like I'm back in
to match
history
his
class.
reported symptoms and were common in
Like,
the region.
6th
However,
grade.
for thousands of
4th
years,
grade.
another theory has
I would
persisted,
not pay
that
attention.
Alexander was poisoned.
There are some ancient authors
Well,
saying
you ate like an
he
apple
died
and you
from
just died?
poison. The poison was
A
sent,
potion? What the fuck? You died by a witch?
Possible culprits range from his relatives to his generals, and the type of poison varies as well. Given Alexander's success in battle, it does feel appropriate that his defeat would come through subterfuge.
I feel that Alexander died ultimately because he pushed himself too hard.
Number 7. A bribe ended the Battle of the Catalaunian Plains.
What's the Catalaunian Plains?
The Battle of the Catalaunian Plains was one of the last major battles fought by the Western Roman Empire, who allied with the Visigoths against Attila the Hun.
That's how that happened.
There's much about this
they
battle
fought on horses.
From its importance to its outcome.
Horses
One 7th
died.
century historian, whose work became known as the Chronicle of Fredegar, alleges that the battle was orchestrated by Roman general Aetius. By allying with the Goths,
that's some real shit.
Claimed, Aetius hoped to weaken them along with the
BBC,
Huns.
that's some crazy ass.
We don't have to be a single army.
The historian also states that Aetius persuaded Attila to retreat in
People
exchange
really
for a
died
bribe.
and
Given
shit.
that so much about the battle
What
is
the
unsure,
fuck? He just
this
went
theory is
straight
as good
into
as
a
any for
spear.
explaining why it was inconclusive.
My lord Attila didn't die at the Catalonian field.
You think one of them are related to those people? You think I could be related to one of them people? You think you're related to one of those people? Are you related to one of those people? Am I related to one of those people? Yeah, the world may never. What the fuck?
But he may as well have done.
Number 6. Plato and the New World Order.
Plato.
The New World Order conspiracy theory
The
alleges
New World
that a
Order,
secret
dude,
cabal is
WWE in
conspiring
this
to create a
bitch.
singular totalitarian.
You got Hulk Hogan.
government.
You got
Many folks
fucking
often assert that this cabal is behind
Beyonce.
world events.
A secret group said to comprise of the world's most powerful people seeking to establish a new world order.
It's certainly much simpler to think so than to accept the complex world of
That shit's on the dollar bill. That's just on one of the money things.
certainly
That shit's on like a thing.
much
That's like,
simpler to think so than to accept the complex world of conflicting interests that we see around us. Some proponents of this comparatively modern theory allege that it has ancient roots, contending that the conspirators behind the New World Order were inspired by Plato. The theory suggests that secret
the shit
organizations
you play with,
like the
the Play-Doh?
Illuminati gave Plato's writings more prominence in academia to spread the proto-totalitarian ideals he espouses in dialogues like the Republic.
what the fuck did she just say? The totalitarian were done in the public. What?
Proto-totalitarian
Totalitarian.
ideals he espouses in
Espouses
dialogues
in
like
the
the
dialect in the public.
Conservative as Plato was, he too was going to subvert old ideas.
Speak English,
simply
bitch.
By teaching that men had to use their own brains.
Number 5.
What?
Emperor Nero
What?
burned Rome.
What? Brains?
He too was going to subvert old ideas simply by teaching that men had to use their own brains.
Oh.
Number 5. Emperor Nero burned Rome.
Pretty, I'm not using mine.
Is an inferno.
Nero is one of ancient Rome's most notorious emperors. He was described as a self-indulgent tyrant by contemporaries, though he was...
How do you become one? Like, how do you become a king and shit? Like, how do they? Oh yeah, I'm the king. How does that work? How do you become? You think? How does that work? What the fuck is he pointing at? That dude does not look like a king.
People for his public performances. When the Great Fire of Rome damaged or destroyed 10 out of its 14 districts, a rumor spread that Nero was responsible.
Ancient writers describe how shadowy figures throw burning torches into undamaged buildings.
Undamaged?
Nero's
So
men?
Nero's construction of an expensive palace on the burned section of the city certainly looked suspicious.
Oh.
And even to blame and persecute Christians for the fire wasn't a good look either. It's possible that Nero wasn't even in the city when the fire started, but the theory remains a popular one even today.
Legend says that as Rome burned, Nero sat on his balcony, singing the fall of Troy, with the city suffering as his backdrop.
Number 4. The Phantom Time.
As Rome burned, Nero sat on his balcony, singing the fall of Troy, with the city suffering as his backdrop.
Number 4. The Phantom Time Hypothesis. According to author Heribert Illich, 207 years of history was completely new. Illich's theory called the phantom time hypothesis, posits that the years 614 to 911 AD and figures like Charlemagne were fabricated by Holy Roman Emperor Otto and Pope Sylvester II, with maybe some help from a Byzantine emperor. The goal of this deception was supposedly to validate Otto's rule by making the year 1000. His evidence is a supposed lack of archaeological evidence from the period, and a dating discrepancy between the Julian and Gregorian calendars. It's a cool idea, but it would require fabricating every other culture's history from the same time period, and even altering astronomical events.
Aber die Langobarden.
The Lombards.
Sollen uns jetzt nicht kümmern. Kümmern wir uns lieber um die Sachsen.
Number 3. Jesus married Mary Magdalene. When it comes to conspiracy theories, Jesus is a popular subject.
Jesus is married?
Conspiracy claims that the Christian savior was in fact married to one of his followers, Mary Magdalene, and evidence of it was covered up.
Following her heart and flaunting tradition, she boldly left the only home she had ever known to join the growing company of men and women who followed Jesus.
Although the idea gained prominence with the 1896 discovery of the Gnostic Gospel of Mary, it was popularized in modern times by the Da Vinci Code, which theorized
That's Tom Hanks.
Mary
What was he doing
Jesus
back
had
then?
children, and that their union
What was Tom Hanks doing when Jesus was alive?
Mary Magdalene was Jesus' wife.
However, most of the evidence used by conspiracy theorists and Dan Brown's novel have been repeatedly debunked, and the Gospel of Mary is considered apocryphal.
This is a woman who knew Jesus in a very close and personal way, and that's the desire of all Christians.
Hey! Straight, I go pee in my room.
Relationship with Jesus.
Number 2. Julius Caesar died willingly. The assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BC is one of the most famous political killings in history. A conspiracy of Roman senators murdered him on the Senate floor.
Let's go back and...
No!
Wait, what are we... Rome?
A conspiracy of Roman senators murdered him on the Senate floor.
No!
Honestly, I don't know what the fuck... I don't know what's going on.
That much isn't questioned in this theory, but this theory suggests that Caesar went willingly to his death. Proponents argue that Caesar was depressed and tired of living due to his age, which was advanced for the time, and epilepsy.
Caesar had epilepsy? Dude, that dude couldn't even go to no concerts, bro. That's crazy. He couldn't watch it. No way, Caesar had... Bro, but he's in Vegas, though. He has a hotel in Vegas.
He had been warned by a soothsayer to beware the Ides of March, and likely knew his life was under threat. So, when the opportunity came, the theory states, he did not fight his attackers. Without knowing what Caesar was thinking, we'll never know for sure. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell.
We got Wendy's / McDonald's in this bitch.
You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them.
No pee-pee, no boom, my room.
Make sure you go into your settings.
No pee-pee, no boom.
Number 1. Caesarion was Jesus.
Oh, hell no, what the fuck?
His son is also the subject of a conspiracy theory.
His son's Jesus?
His son with Cleopatra, Ptolemy the 15th Caesar or Caesarion, was the historical inspiration for Jesus.
What the fuck? How you gonna show down? I'm not. Why did I? That's gonna traumatize me.
Caesarion was proclaimed to be a god, the son of a god, and king.
They just had a finger for a dick.
Jesus. Cleopatra compared herself and Caesarion to the deities Isis and Horus, and there are startling parallels between the story of Horus and Jesus.
The images of Mary and the images of Isis with Horus on her knee.
You can show that on YouTube.
Were interchangeable.
The theory holds that Jesus was a Roman invention, amalgamating various mythologies to build an empire-wide religion. Given Roman
wires.
This seems pretty counterintuitive.
Oh, that is.
But like most conspiracy theories, there is scant chance of it ever being proven one way or the other.
Brother Osiris, let me live to spit in his face.
What the fuck?
Do you enjoy this video?
This dude's fucking horny. Okay. What? Okay.